Due to the war on the Earth was completely destroyed. So some people were sent to the moon so that they could go there and create colonies for the rest of the humans. And when all this work was done, after which the humans left the Earth and went to the moon. Went there and started living there. But living on the moon was not so easy because there used to be storms of tears. So that is why they had to change all these decisions. After which they started mining on the moon so that they could find easy solutions to understand the situation. So many people were hired for mining, which was called mining. And at the same time, this soul was also created that these miners will live on the moon along with their families. And we are shown the children of miners who were born at this place that is on the moon. They all come together in a space rover that is... They were trying to steal the vehicle that could drive on the moon. Then someone comes there due to fear of which everyone hid. Among them was a child named Caleb, who had a capsule in his hand. His dad, also a miner, dies while working. After 3 days, it is decided to send Caleb to Omega, where he will be adopted by another family, where life is happy in every way. People live life very happily. It is here that we are told that it takes approximately 75 years to reach Omega from the moon, during which a person who does everything, dry and sleep, remains in a chamber, due to which the age of a person does not increase when he reaches Omega from the moon. If yes, then he is of the same age. Galileb knew that it would take him 75 years to reach Omega, but Galileb did not know how to go from here. He knew that he would never be able to meet his friends again. A lady tells him that the storm of cure is going to start in the next day, after which you would have left for Omega. Was Lip missing his dad a lot? He remembers how he used to go for those teas and sit with his dad in the base here. He remembers that his dad had told him that some dangerous thing came and collided on the other side of the moon, due to which a creator there died for an hour. You go to that place once and see it last. But it was forbidden for any human being to go to the other side of this moon. And the cup we saw in Caleb's hand, it was given to him by a guard who had found it among his dad's ashes. Then Kellepet was silent. He was all a soldier. Then 3 of his friends come to him who were very sad because of his departure. One of these friends, whose name is Dylan, he knew the last wish of Kellepet's dad, which was to go to the Creator. Was. Dalyhing says, why don't we see that Creator before you leave? In this way, the last wish of you idiot will also be fulfilled. But it was not so easy. They collect whatever things they need to go there and send them out from here. There was a need to go to court. Darren tells that there is a girl here whose name is Edison. Edison had shifted from the Earth to the moon just a few days ago. He didn't even have any friends. He was the daughter of a scientist, and Dylan says, who knows? She may know about the court. When he goes to talk to Edison, he doesn't talk to him. She doesn't, and goes away from there. Seeing this, he follows him into the camp and tells him about the whole thing. He says, I wanted to be friends with you from the beginning, even if everyone thinks you're weird. Edison says everything is fine. I am ready to help you people, but I will also go with you in this mission of yours. After listening to her in the daily, he gets ready to take her with him. All the children have reached the rover space. They were all stealing it. Does Lip pull the date of his alarm in advance, or his alarm did not go off? Then he puts on the coat prescribed by Edison, which opened the door. It was all ready to go now. The responsibility of driving the disease was on Delon, because he was the only one who knew how to drive. They all leave from there. They had seen the surface of the moon for the first time. Everyone was very happy, but these people had to come back before the storm of mud and mud came, because when it rains of mud and mud, the base was locked down. Used to go. During the journey, everyone starts telling about themselves. Guess what? My dad told me how people were sent to the moon and then they were made to mine it. But no human being can do the work of mining continuously while living on the moon. That if that person dies while working, then his son or any person from his family will have to complete that work. The only condition for this is that the age of that person's son should be 18 years. If someone is younger than this, he will be given for adoption to some other family. Those who would have been living on Omega Planet, those who had sold their lives on the moon, happily went to Omega and started getting to know Edison. Edison says, so what? He was given the job of doing only one mining, which has to be done only for 20 years. Edison is a scientist. Since she had a daughter, she did not know about the real thing. Here the talent explains everything to him that if a person dies while mining, then his son has to complete the remaining years. Edison was a little surprised after hearing this. Now they had to cover the further path on foot, each in his own spacesuit. Let's wear it. Edison's suit was a little different among all these, and good too. Well, they come out where, due to the absence of gravitational force, everyone was jumping very high. Everyone starts playing here. When Edison sets his sights on acquiring land, he becomes a little sad, and she started remembering the moments of her lying on the ground. When Genub Edison comes back, she sees that all the Alug balances were going into space with the help of an oxygen gas container. He had tied himself to the rover with a rope, so that this space cannot reach the door. Edison says after seeing this, "This can be dangerous. Don't do it like this." But no one listens to him. When after saying all this, Loka started talking to his younger friend, due to a shock, his condition was broken, due to which he went away in space. Seeing all this, Caliber tries to save him by taking his remaining 2 oxygen cylinders, and with great difficulty he saved his friend. But in all this, he had lost a lot of oxygen, but they did not have even that much oxygen left. So before they could reach the crater, everyone was badly trapped. Sometimes Caleb remembers that one of his friends had told him that there is an outpost somewhere around here that you don't even know about, and you can get oxygen by going there. His friend of Caleb had told him. Says I won't go there because my brother told me. On the other hand, after listening to what he says, Dylan starts making fun of him, and seeing that both of them had a fight on this very issue, he shouts loudly at Dylan and says that as much time as you have left to be together, it is better than me. After hearing that they wanted to talk about this fight, both of them became friends again. Well, they reached that outpost where it was very dark. On the other hand, they also see the shadows of humans, seeing which everyone got scared. On turning on the lights, they come to know that they were not humans, but mannequins. And this was not an outpost, but a model of such a house, that if humans lived on the moon, it would be like this. Stay at home. Well, there they get some food and oxygen. It was already night. That's why everyone decides to endure the night. I tell Edison that my dad left me alone. Edison also starts telling about himself, that my mom and dad's divorce was implemented, about which my mom took my brother. I went to another planet. I feel very alone. Everyone had slept, but Cole Addiction was still awake, and starts talking to Lily Addition. He says that after my dad's death, my friend Dylan supported me. He is my everything. I will go to Omega. Bellin will be left all alone. So that's why after my departure, you should always stay with him, promise him. And I had also promised him from his lips. When morning comes, these people start their journey again, but now the battery of their rover was exhausted. They also lacked oxygen, so they had to reach later before the meteor fan. Everyone gets worried about this. That's why I digested the security decently, and came to the metro before it rained. We'll act like a guard and save you. Now all these creators quickly reach the pit, which was very big in appearance. These heels had come down to a strange place where the decision-maker sees a button which as soon as he presses it, the whole place changes in such a way that as soon as people are on the ground, all this becomes real. It wasn't, but still they like everything. When he removes the stone and looks, under it he finds the rock and the picture of his mom, dad, or relatives in which he saw his mom for the first time. He now understands why his dad wanted him to come here. He was very sad. Dylan tells him why should he waste this third chance of his life. Here every person wants that he will go to makeup after completing the base year of mining, and there are very few of them. Your dad also gave up his life for this reason. Here he comes to know that his dad deliberately took his life so that Kalip could be sent to Omega, so that he could enter into a good life which everyone except Kellup would know about. According to Dylan, don't reject the gift your father has given you. He has given you this gift by giving his life. Then during their conversation, a friend falls ill and they all quickly try to take him to their rover. But then the mud and mudstorm had started. Everyone was trying to save themselves. Edison, too, gets separated while trying to save himself. When no one sees him, Caliper Dylan goes to save him. There was a crack in Edison's helmet. That is why he becomes unconscious. Let's save some Dylan edition and bring it back, but Dylan falls on the same beach. But if you tell him that you had saved him, then all the rover comes inside, whose windows were also broken due to the storm of mud and mud. They also had less oxygen. So that's why you couldn't stay alive. Everyone sits in the same rover and starts waiting for their death. Everyone understood that now they would not be able to survive. But they were happy that everyone would die together, near which everyone had become unconscious. After this accident, we are shown the story going forward some time. We are shown Yalib, who has reached Omega. meaning that 75 years had passed since that accident. Kelly Rayon was in sleep. But now he wakes up from the moon. It takes about 75 years to go to Omega, during which the person traveling on it remains in a chamber of dry and sleep, due to which the age of the person does not increase. When he reaches Omega from the moon, he is the same age. He wanted to know about his friends. Then a nurse returns the same audio device in which her friends' messages were recorded. He learns that all of them were saved that day. Her friend has spent more than half her life there, as one friend started his own baseball team and the other two came as status. Then, according to the rest of the plaintiffs, Edison had married a slope. It gives great pleasure to know about the life of your friends and hear the voices of their increasing age. But he was still sad that he could not spend his life with his friends. A family on American planet had adopted a colleague. He blends into this environment. So here he also finds Edison's brother, about whom Edison had told that he lives with his mother at OM's house. Kellop tells Edison's brother about the good deeds of his sister, who got them abolished by working against the principles like mining on the moon, and with this, the story of this film also ends here.